Welcome, I'm Cassandra, and this is your general and love forecast for January 2018. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. I'd like to take a moment to apologize for being so late in getting my videos up. I have been sick. I am starting to get better now, but just a forewarning, I may have to pause here and there. You guys probably won't even notice, but no one wants to hear me have to sneeze or blow my nose or cough. So now, without further ado, enough about me. It's about you. Let's jump into this reading. You guys have been waiting a while. Okay, for our first card, we get the High Priestess in the reverse position. So when the High Priestess is in reversed, it's like something's being suggested that something is just not right. Like things are just not adding up. This could be within a particular situation for you. Or perhaps some of you may be feeling a bit lost. Some of you may even be experiencing issues with self-deception. Not all of you, but some of you might. And another thing about this card is, this can definitely indicate that, that something is not as it appears to be. So something may appear to be great at first glance, but really it's not. And this card can also indicate that perhaps maybe a few of you are using your psychic type energy to benefit yourself. So you want to be careful that you're not psychically or emotionally manipulating someone in your life. Okay, this is the card position of circumstances, and we get the Death card. So, a situation is definitely coming to an end for you guys. This can range from many different things. This could be a job, this could be a relationship, this could be a lot of things. This could indicate for a very few of you that perhaps some of you have recently just lost someone to passing. And if that is the case, my condolences. And for these people, this would have been very recent. I'm not talking about a year ago or 6 months ago. This would have been like within a month, a couple weeks. So, but overall, for the rest of you, this card is about making a big transition. This is a big change. You're essentially walking away from what is familiar to you guys. It's time to walk away from the past. It's time to go into the unknown, which can be a bit scary, but it's for the better, because this can bring opportunities. It looks like such a scary card, but most of the time the Death card does not truly indicate death. It can, but for most of you it's not. This is about a major transition, which makes sense, seeing how for my Cancer suns and even my Cancer moons and even for my Cancer risings. For my Cancer suns, you have Pluto opposing your sun. For my Cancer moons, you have Pluto opposing your moon. And then for my Cancer rising signs, you have Pluto either right around your descendant or in your 7th house opposing your rising. So yeah, this is definitely a transition. especially for my rising signs, a lot of you guys may be experiencing issues within leaving a relationship. But this relationship could be romantic, or it could even be a business type relationship. But this also applies to my sun and moons as well. I mean, you may decide to walk away from a relationship. You guys may decide to walk away from something that you guys have, that's all you guys have ever known. Or maybe this is something that you have dedicated a lot of your time and energy and labor into. But you're walking away. You're making this transition. And it's painful, okay? It is painful. But in the end, you know, further down the line, you will reap the rewards for going through this. I know it probably doesn't feel that way right now, but you will be rewarded for this. Okay, this is the card position of focus. Now here we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse position. So this was about emotional choices. This is kind of like an emotional choices wish card, essentially, where we have to pick something. Now that it's in the reverse position, you guys have made a decision about something in regards to your emotions, something that affects you emotionally, an emotional situation. You had to make a decision, and you already made the decision. And you made the decision that was best for you. Now this is the card position of your recent past. Or this energy, you could still be experiencing it, but it's of a passing nature. It's moving away from you. Now this is the Five of Wands, so this would indicate conflicts. This is like confusion, struggles, just conflicts. It's like you're being caught off guard sometimes, and it's like there's so much conflict that sometimes you can feel like, why did these arguments even start? I don't even remember why they started. There's just been so many. And they just kind of spiral. You know, and there's confusion and just an overall feeling of struggling. And no one can seem to understand, why are we arguing? You know, so this could be within work, this could be within a creative project, this could have been within a relationship. But it's like endless battling and fighting. Okay, this is the card position of the present, the here and the now type of energy. And we have the Two of Swords in the reverse position. So this shows that at one point you guys were having an issue with indecision. But for most of you, you are no longer having an issue with the indecision. You've already made your choice. You made your decision, and you're going forward. Now, for a few of you, I need to let you know, be careful on who you trust and who you reveal any of your plans to, because this is the card that you need to try to keep things to yourself. You don't want to be out sharing your information. You don't want to share your confidants, so to speak, because this can get you into some more difficulties that you guys don't really need right now. So it's best to just play your cards close to your chest. Don't you want to have discretion. Be careful if you share your plans with anybody. Make sure that this is someone that you can absolutely trust with your life, because you don't want to reveal too much to someone that you may or may not be able to trust. You want to know you can trust this person. Now, for a few of you, could still be having an issue with indecision. And you definitely need to try to make that decision as quickly as you can, but you want to do it using your good logic reasoning ability, okay? If you have to do research, do the research. Look into whatever you need to look into to help you make up your mind so that you can come to a decision. Because we don't want things hanging in the balance for too long. But overall, there's a need to be careful. You made your decision. Just don't go telling everybody, what choice you've made. It's really not everybody's business anyhow. So, because there can still be people that might oppose you. And we just don't need any more issues right now. Okay, this would be the card of your near future. Here we have the Eight of Wands. So this is a wonderful card. This is about achieving, your dreams. Perhaps maybe you're achieving a goal. Perhaps some of you are getting into a new relationship, a romantic relationship. Maybe some of you have decided to go back to school. But this is about achieving our heart's desires and our goals and our dreams. And this is also very swift action and movement. Things are progressing quickly. There's a very swift energy field behind this card. So things move quickly. Okay, this card position is your attitude. And here we have the Five of Cups. And she don't look very happy. This is about loss and disappointment. So a lot of you guys have potentially been through a loss or a very disappointing time. Perhaps some of you have lost someone in a relationship. Perhaps some of you have lost your marriage. Perhaps some of you have some broken dreams. Perhaps some of you have lost a job that was very, very important to you and you cared about it a lot. Perhaps some of you have lost your dream, so to speak. This can be about broken dreams. So a lot of you guys may be grieving right now and kind of focusing on the loss that you've been through. But you need to realize that there is hope. Grieve this loss. Go ahead and grieve. But just know that there is hope. Things will get better in the future. I know that this has been really rough the last few months. But things are going to get better. They can't stay bad forever, It just makes me think of the Wheel of Fortune, so to speak. The Wheel of Fortune card, it's a wheel. You can't stay down forever. The wheel has to turn, so you will go back up. So you can't stay at the bottom in despair forever. Things will get better. And try to not isolate yourself too much. I can certainly understand that some of you may want to be alone to grieve for a little while, but just don't get too... You don't want to go into hermit mode, okay? Okay, this is the card position of how other people see you. And here we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. So, when this queen is in the upright position, she's very intelligent. She definitely has some very good reasoning skills, very good logic. She weighs things before she makes a decision. But she also makes decisions with her intellect and not with her emotion. But when we have this card in the reverse position, she's no longer making her decision with her intellect. She's making the decisions that she's making with her emotions. She's reacting in an emotional way, and she's very upset. She's been through a loss. Okay, this would be the card position of your hopes and fears. So this would definitely resonate as a hope to me. Here we have the Three of Coins, and this is about learning a skill. This could also be about teamwork. But overall, this is about working as a team and achieving with a team. And sometimes you can get some monetary rewards, and sometimes this is about receiving recognition. But the recognition comes through as for a team. But this is also about learning a skill. So some of you may feel like, maybe I should go get some schooling, or maybe I should take a course. So for me, this feels like a hope. Now, the final outcome card, we get the Seven of Wands. So this is a card of stiff competition, okay? But overall, this is a card of you defending yourself. This could be you defending yourself. This could be you defending your beliefs. This could be you defending your family or people that you care about. But overall, you have a lot of courage. You have the stamina to defend yourself with no problem at all. You can hold up to the competition. But yes, this can be about competition. Perhaps somebody is trying to compete with you for the same thing. Whether you're going after a relationship or a job. I feel for a lot of you this will be about a job. And I feel like, you may have some stiff competition out there. But, don't try to not let it get the better of you, mentally. Don't let fear get in there and try to bring you down, okay? Because you have the stamina to do this. And sometimes this can indicate that perhaps someone or something feels like an enemy. So this can make you come across as kind of defensive, like you're being defensive, because you're just ready to jump. You're ready to defend if you have to at any given moment. So for some of you, that'll resonate as far as feeling like you're on the defensive. Don't worry, we will clarify all of these. Now for the bottom of the deck, we get the Eight of Coins, which I can definitely understand that. You guys are definitely ready for that money to start flowing in. But this is also about having a skill and continuing to work on it, because practice makes perfect. So, and that really resonates here with the Hope card of the Three of Coins, because this is about learning a new skill. And this is about having the skill, but you're perfecting it. So, for those of you who do have a skill or an ability that you're very good at, keep practicing, because practice makes perfect. And the better your work is, then you'll be very valuable. You just gotta wait for somebody to see it. But the good thing here is with the Eight of Coins, it will be seen. Someone who does work this great cannot be ignored for long, okay? And this person just absolutely dedicates herself tirelessly to their skills. So, if you feel like you don't have a skill, maybe look within. Maybe you do have a skill, but you just aren't seeing it. So think about it. You just might have a skill and you just haven't paid much attention. And then turn your energy onto focusing on nurturing it and allowing it to grow and expand and get better. Keep doing it because practice makes perfect, and it can make you invaluable within this job field. Okay, let's clarify. I feel like it's every month. Okay, we clarify our High Priestess card in the reverse position, and we have the Ace of Coins in the reverse position. So with the Ace of Coins in the reverse position, it's like there's something missing. Like perhaps we had a plan that we had implemented and we missed something. And that's what the High Priestess in the reverse position is about. We don't have all the facts. Something may appear to be okay, but it's not, because it's missing something. The High Priestess in reverse indicates that something is not right or accurate. Something's missing. Now the Ace of Coins in the reverse position, this is also a warning to not overextend yourself financially. You need to budget. Budget, budget, budget. You don't want to spend too much money because it's just kind of going away from you when it's in the reverse position. Now we clarify the Death card, which was the Circumstances card. And we get the Six of Wands in the reverse position. So this is like us trying to go after our victory and trying to achieve our goals. But it's like we are just met with obstacles and delays constantly. So our victory is ultimately postponed and delayed. But that makes total sense because, you know, this is a pretty hardcore card. We just got to kind of walk away. So, I mean, maybe a lot of you were going after a particular goal, and now you realize, I've got to walk away from it. I got to leave it behind because it's not happening. It's not working out for me. And it's just simply time to walk away from it. When one door closes, another opens, always. You know, and sometimes delays can be really hard to deal with, and we can have a hard time understanding why we're having to deal with all these delays. But especially when combined with the Death card, a delay here will be shown at a later date that it was for a very good reason. So, I know this seems hardcore and whatnot, but this is actually a blessing in disguise, this delay, and not being able to achieve this. Because maybe this is something that you thought you wanted, but ultimately the universe is saying, no, walk away from it because I got something better for you, but you need to walk away. Okay, this was our focus card. We had the Seven of Cups in the reverse position. This was about making an emotional choice, and you've already made one. We get the King of Cups in the reverse position, so essentially this would be you, Cancer. So, King of Cups in the reverse position, he's having a hard time in the reverse position because he's very emotional, and the King is an emotional person, and this could be male or female, okay? But the King of Cups is emotional, but he's very good at appearing detached because he can detach from his emotions, but he's still an emotional king. He can hide it better. He could detach from it when he wants to. But when he's in the reverse position, he can no longer detach from it. So, he is thinking with his emotions rather than with his intellect. And these are pretty negative emotions, so there's a tendency to focus on everything that's wrong and everything that we lack and what's not, everything that's not right. And, this king also can indicate that you guys may be withdrawing, isolating yourselves. This is moodiness. This can be shyness as well. But this can also indicate that perhaps you may not be telling someone the full truth about an issue. And so, if that happens to resonate with you and you know that you're withholding the truth from people that you love, I would advise that you don't withhold. Because people could actually be more than willing to help. Whether that's emotional assistance, financial assistance, whatever. I mean, a lot of people are actually there willing to help. But no one can help if you're not telling the full truth about a situation. And maybe you made this decision with your emotions rather than with your intellect. Okay, this was the card of the recent past, or the energy that is passing. We got the Five of Wands, and this was our confusion and our struggles and our endless battles, don't even know why we're still arguing type of card. And here we get the Judgment in reverse to clarify, and the Judgment in reverse is essentially we're not hearing or seeing the true nature of a situation. And again, like I was saying, this card's about confusion. It's like you've argued and had conflict with someone for so long that you don't even remember why it originally started. And the Judgment in reverse is saying you're not seeing the true nature or hearing the true nature of the situation. Okay, this was the card for the present, the here and the now energy. We had our Two of Swords in the reverse position. This was about finally breaking the indecision and making a decision. And the need to still be cautious about who we share our information with. when it's clarified by the Tower. So, this is an unexpected, rude type of awakening, and maybe that forces you to have to make this decision because of this unexpected situation that popped up. And so we have to decide quickly. You know, in the beginning, the Tower card, it can seem and feel pretty brutal sometimes. But, you know, this is a blessing in disguise type of card too. It, you know, in the beginning, it's experienced as negative a lot of times. Not every single time, but a lot for most people it is experienced in a negative way. It's something unexpected, something we just were not expecting to happen, and it just literally comes out of left field and just blindsides us, and we're like, wow, I can't believe this happened. But ultimately, this is a card that clears the slate. It's kind of like a karmic lesson, so to speak. But once you endure this lesson, there's always a blessing with it. And especially for those of you who have felt like you have been stuck or trapped into a certain situation or a position, if you have felt stuck and like you felt like you've just not been able to get out of a situation, well, the Tower card will help you to get yourself out of the situation that you've not been able to get out of before. So the Tower will definitely assist you with that. You know, but whatever this is, it was very shocking and unexpected, and it forces you to make this decision. Because it happens so quickly, you don't really get a lot of time to think about it. You got to make that decision like, bam, right now. But just know that this is a card that clears the slate so that you can have a clean slate moving forward. You know, and so does the Death card. So I know that things have been feeling pretty negative, and I know a lot of you guys are experiencing issues within your relationships, and some of you are experiencing issues on the financial front and having a hard time getting a job, keeping one. These are cards that clears the slate, so you're gonna get a new start. So I know it's rough, but I'm telling you, in the end, it's so much better. You'll see, it just takes a little while to get there. You know, all in God's time or all in the universe's time, however you want to see it. But everything happens when it's supposed to. And it's good that we're clearing any karma that we've had, because I'd rather have a clean slate. Okay, this was the card of the near future. We had the Eight of Wands. This was about our achieving our goals, a dream, even potentially starting a new relationship with someone. You know, this is swift action, movement. You know, this is a fast moving situation. Things are going in the right direction. They're going for us. We clarify, we get the Four of Coins in the reverse position. So perhaps a goal that you guys have been going after, it may cost you more money than you had counted on. So you want to be careful not to overextend yourself financially. Now, for a few of you, this can indicate that perhaps you're clinging onto a situation or even a person Because sometimes there's a tendency to cling onto our possessions and to not want to let them go. But clinging in this situation is not going to help. But at the same time, you want to be careful. You don't want to let, because money is running away from you in this card scenario. But for a few of you, this can indicate selfishness. And I'm not saying that to be rude, so don't shoot the messenger, but it's not necessarily that you're absolutely selfish. For some of you, you've had to work very hard to get your money. And so you're not going to let it go so easily because you know how hard you had to bust your ass to get it. And it's a lot of hard work to get this type of financial security. And so you may not be willing to just hand it over. So I can understand that. Others may not, but... And the thing about this here is this is Sun in Capricorn, and seeing how Pluto's in Capricorn, this again just seems like a Pluto poking his head back in. So you really need to be careful, especially in regards to going after certain goals, especially if you're trying to get like a business going. You want to be very careful to not overextend yourself financially. I mean, I can't say that enough. You really need to be careful. And you want to go over all your details with a fine-tooth comb. You want to be very careful. Okay, this was the card position of your attitude. We had the Five of Cups, which is you've experienced a loss and disappointment. Most likely love, but this can be a loss or disappointment in any area of your life. It's just something that you would have truly loved. We clarify, we get the Justice card in the reverse position, so yeah, this is like someone has been very unfair to you. Someone has done you in an unjust manner. And that shit is not cool. Excuse my French, but hell no, we don't need none of that. So you know what? For whoever did this shit to you guys, let them walk. Bye-bye. Death to you. We don't need that. Let them go. Let them go. But this shows that you're so upset because you've gone through an injustice. Perhaps that maybe someone made a decision and they were biased. Maybe they were discriminating. Maybe they were even racist. Maybe they were corrupt. Because when the Justice is in the reverse position, this can indicate that, there can be some corruption, even within the legal system. And sometimes, I should mention, that sometimes there will be certain laws where it'll, someone will be going by the law, so to speak, but that doesn't mean that the situation was just. For instance, where I am, I have known a few people who have done this rent to own, where they get a house and essentially they pay monthly like they're renting, but they're essentially buying the house. And all the people I have known to go through this situation, they have all gotten literally within a year. One person was literally 1 month away from owning the property. And then the person who actually owns the property decides, oh, I think I'm going to kick them out for this or for that. When for years and years it was never a problem, but now you have a problem with it. Now, unfortunately, the state that I'm at, in the law, in the justice system, it's okay. If you have a valid reason to evict that person because you don't like what they're doing to your property or whatever, it doesn't matter that they've paid that house off 95%, and it goes into court. The judge has to go by the laws, and if they have a logical reason to evict you, they can, and guess what? You essentially just paid that house off for them. Now, in the justice system, that is justice, okay? Unfortunately. But that is not justice to me. Maybe that was justice for the law, but that's where the law can be messed up sometimes. It doesn't always work, especially here in America. The laws are different in every country. But here in America, some of our laws are very flawed and need to be changed. And the reason I brought this situation up is because this happens to people. And it is not fair at all. Now, within the justice system, the justice way, it was done the right way. But I don't find anything right about that. Especially seeing how the reasons that these people were evicted were things that they had done all along, and it was never a problem for the owner. But it became a problem right there at the end because they wanted to be able to keep their property like some greedy bastards and redo this all over again. And to me, that is an injustice. But let me tell you guys what. I know I've gone off on a rant here, and I know I got a potty mouth, so please excuse me. But just know that whatever injustice has been brought down on you and has brought you this loss and disappointment, just know karma is never in reverse. Karma will get their ass like that. I promise you. You can lie to yourself. You can lie to everybody else. But no, you cannot lie to karma. You cannot lie to God. You cannot lie to the universe. Karma will get them, so don't worry. Let it go. I know it's hard, but turn the other cheek. To hell with them. Let them go because they did you dirty. But just know, they will get theirs. They will get some payback. You can't treat people like this and get away with it. Woo, that got me fired up. Okay, this was our card of how other people see us. We got the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. So she's definitely emotionally out of balance. And she's been through a loss. We clarify and we get the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. So this loss was probably a loss of a relationship. Could have been a new relationship. Yeah. My feeling is that a lot of this is around a relationship. But, for some, this could be about a project that you had a lot of love for. Something that was very, very close to your heart. And maybe it didn't work out. But when the Ace of Cups is in the reverse position, emotions are running out of the cup. They're just running away. So again, emotions are in control. Yep, so it's a very emotional situation. And I'll bet it is. I mean, whew, this Justice card in reverse got me fired up. And just let me tell you what, I mean, whoo, whoever brought this injustice upon you, they are an idiot. Because you don't want to mess with this energy, okay? She can get downright nasty. She can be downright nasty when she is wronged. You don't want to mess with her. So whomever this is, they're an idiot. Don't worry about that idiot, because like I said, you know, karma, it's never in reverse. Karma will get them. So don't worry about that. Karma will get them. You know, and for some of you who have recently either just got into a relationship or are trying to get into a relationship, you know, it's not to say that you won't get in a relationship with this particular person. More than likely not, but for those of you, sometimes you can, and sometimes this can just be indicating that it's going to be a long wait, a long delay before this happens. But overall, this is just not the time, because you're just not ready for it right now. Because I feel that a lot of you guys have just gone through a lot of, you guys are going through some losses, and you got to deal with that. Especially before moving on. Let's just focus on clearing our slates, you know, so that we can begin and start over, you know, having a clean slate. Now this was our hopes and fears position. We had the 3 of coins. This was about going after potentially getting some school or taking some courses to learn a new skill or ability, or working within a teamwork type of situation. We clarify and we get the Queen of Cups. So this definitely feels like a hope. You know, the Queen of Cups. Be you, Cancer. So we got the Cancer highlighted here. This is a situation, this is a skill that you have a lot of love for, that you're willing to dedicate yourself to wholeheartedly. You want to grow this ability. So this is definitely a hope. But it doesn't have to be. Nurture that ability and keep developing it. Because once you continue to develop it, then you can end up here where you're perfecting it. Now this was our final outcome card. We had the 7 of Wands, and this is about stiff competition, but you have more than enough courage and stamina to defend yourself, your causes, your family, whatever the situation may be, whoever the enemy may be, you are more than able to defend yourself. It's clarified by the 5 of coins in the reverse position, which seems to be steady in your guys' readings month after month. But combined, this is good, because this shows, you know, that there is a reversal of your luck. So your luck is not bad. Your luck is actually good now. And so if you guys are competing for a job, well, that job's going to be yours. Just don't take your eye off the prize and be willing to defend yourself. And yeah, this can indicate competition, but don't worry about your competition, because as long as you stay focused, oh, this job will be yours. It will be yours. Now, for the bottom of the deck, we get the 2 of coins in the reverse position. So, this indicates that you're having too many irons in the fire, that you are potentially trying to juggle too many situations at once. So you're going to have to pick. You're essentially going to have to pick one of these matters to focus on, because you can't handle both, or, you know, all 5 of them, or however many there may be. You can't handle them all at once right now. But you need to pick one and focus your energy on that, because, you know, there's just too many irons in the fire here. Too many mistakes can happen here when we're trying to force ourselves to do more than we can handle. Now, I know that'll be hard for some of you, but you just got to try to pick one thing to devote your energy to at a time. And in no time, then we can get this upright. But for now, let's just focus on one thing as opposed to 2, 3, or 4 different things. You know, and perhaps this is saying that you got 2 different goals or 2 different skills or abilities. Pick one to focus on right now, because trying to do all of them is just simply not going to work to your benefit right now. So we just need to pick one and focus on that, because we don't want our energy to be all scattered. Okay. Now, I'm not clarifying the Love Oracle cards this month, okay? And you guys will know which one of these are for you. First one we have is wedding. This situation involves marriage. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. New love. A person has stirred your romantic feelings. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. I swear I said that at some point during this reading. I feel like I already said this, so yeah, this is definitely holding true for me. Okay, I'm gonna pull 1, 2, or 3 cards here real quick. For those of you, for the few of you who have actually lost someone recently, and when I say recently, I mean, you know, within the last couple of months, okay? I'm gonna pull 1, 2, or 3 cards here from my new deck. It's called Talking to Heaven. So this is a card deck where we can receive messages from our loved ones that we have lost. So let's give them a little shuffle here and see which cards we get. Sometimes we can get messages that, you know, are pretty much for everyone as well. Here's one. It's beautiful where I am. Now I have no pain. You have nothing to feel guilty about. Okay, this completes my reading for January. Just keep your heads held high, okay? Because the slate's going to be cleared, and for a lot of you, luck is going to be on your side. Whatever you're competing for, whatever you're going after, it's going to be yours. Just keep that focus in your mind, okay? It's going to be yours. We're going to have a clear slate. Things are going to get better. So I will talk to you guys next month. In the meantime, I love every single one of you. And I'm sending you blessings of healing, prosperity, and love. Talk to you next month.